and also you get that huge bracket, you know, I guess you can say comfort that you don't have to go through and play. And there's sometimes new teams get formed in the amateurs scene that don't have any points, and they come out of nowhere. And that's probably what you're seeing right now with VT too, is they've torn it up through the bracket, and they were coming out of the losers bracket side too, which is a very difficult thing to do. But surprisingly, they were able to push it to the brink, and now we move into a best of 7 where we go and look at these game types, starting it off with Plaza Strongholds.
Yeah, Plaza Strongholds, Rig Slayer, Coliseum CTF, Eden Strongholds, True Slayer, Fathom CTF, and Eden Slayer if necessary. Now, we've already seen a couple of these game types previously, so something like Fathom CTF, if the game's the game number 6, BT have got to be feeling pretty good.
Yeah, they got to feel confident about that one. Plaza Strongholds, though, we did see 100-7 coming out from Str8 Rippin in the very first game of the day. It seems like they really had their rotations down on that one, but it's anyone's series here at this point, and it's very hard to predict what's happening because you go and you have, the underdogs coming in and setting the bracket reset, but you would think they would have all the momentum in the world. We've seen it, go both ways, where the team that, was in the winner's bracket gets reset and they come back and still answer the call and win it. Meanwhile, on the other hand, we've seen the opposite happen, where the team from the loser's bracket goes and continues their runs. So it's pretty much a coin flip at this point.
Yeah, Str8 Rippin has no excuses this moment. They've been woken up. I mean, clearly they could come out cold the first couple games or so, but after that, there's really no excuses from here. Str8 Rippin needs to come out strong, needs to start off strong in the second best of 7.
All right, guys, getting this lobby situated, and once we do, we are going to start this game, and we will be underway with the Ultimate Grand Finals, as we're saying here, since the bracket did get reset. And Plaza Stronghold is going to be about having those initial strategies and not letting teams run away with it, with the triple cap, and also not getting too aggressive on the strongholds too. We've seen a lot of teams go there and, making a bad trade. What is a bad trade in strongholds? Well, it's when you go and you take one of the priority strongholds and you give that up for a stronghold maybe that's not as desirable. So in Plaza, that would be maybe trading a bottom, middle, or a nest for a yard, where typically the team that controls the yard and only has one stronghold to say that is the yard is the team that's, being spawn trapped a majority of the time. So you want to make sure that if you do flip the spawns that you're fast enough to go and respond.
Yeah, if you're going for that trip cap, you better make sure you get in that trip cap and holding, like you said, the priority strongholds. It's never about just trading that stronghold and being like, all right, yeah, now that we killed all 4 of you, we're going to take yard and give you nest. Like, that is the worst thing you can do. In that case, you might as well just sat back and stayed at your original 2 strongholds.
Exactly. All right, guys, we did just start this one up, so the players are loading in right now. Plaza Strongholds, game number 1 in the grand finals. Make sure that you tweet the stream. You already know the link. You're currently watching it right now, whether that's on Twitch or on Mixer. Get those links out there. Tweet them, Facebook them, whatever you want to do to post it and get as many eyes in here as possible. Legendary Cup number 2, grand finals. Can Str8 Rippin come back and repeat and be Legendary Cup champions back-to-back, or is it going to be VT's time to shine? Dave, you think your predictions are going to switch and flip-flop? I'll allow it, but you got to tell me the series
I'm going to say 4-2 VT. I think they're going to close it out on that Fathom CTF game number 6.
All right. Dave's predictions are usually wrong, so that means Str8 Rippin most likely going to win this. Just kidding, just kidding. All right, so previous series, who was your MVP in that game, or do you think that it was just an overall strong performance for VT? Let's start it off with Demon D. That's what the Guardians want to give us. That's what we're going to start with.
Yeah, let's go with what is meant to be. But Demon D, I mean, it's really tough to choose just one person out of that. Because, I mean, we saw incredible plays rotations from someone like Naded. We saw great camo acquisitions from Demon D. We saw Arctic just straight up doing work in so many other situations.
Crazy triple cap to start the game for Str8 Rippin, but they don't get the cam player, and that was what you could see. I believe Commonly was desperately trying to do. Denoxide flying in there with the shotgun. Nest is going to be captured coming in from VT, but it's going to be a 4-man setup for Str8 Rippin. They're going to control bottom middle, they're going to control the yard. They're going to try to eventually get some numbers in their advantage and clear out nest area, and that's a good start right there, getting that stick onto Claim, but Baby J, he's going to take his life for that one as well. Now the bottom middle rotation coming in, and it's only one player trying to defend this. That was a nice barrel onto Ace. Ace seems to be getting caught off guard a lot in this series.
Yeah, I feel like when we brought that point earlier on Rig, where we were talking about like, man, members of Str8 Rippin just getting shot in the back and shot in the sides, I think a lot of that was also directed at Ace as well. You know, we saw him pass through the hall on against someone on Plaza earlier. We saw him getting shot to the sides and catwalk on Rig, and just right there again, seemingly on the unfortunate receiving end of getting hit by a barrel at the light rifle.
Couple grenades coming in. That's going to drop Ace as well. You do have a reset coming in, and it does happen. VT gets that nest under their control. They still currently have bottom middle and 2 players trapped on over towards the loop. A pretty fortunate spawn for Ace as he comes alive over towards that back wall area trying to take out Arctic. He does have another player over towards the U-turn. One of those instances again where surrounded by multiple players. Can Ace stay alive? He drops Demon D. Claim finds one on an oxide. Baby J drops down with the shotgun kill, but he's going to drop eventually as well. Lead going on over to VT. Str8 Rippin going to have to reset. Camo is the big part of contention now. And where is Arctic going to play? Looks like a slow play on over towards the loop area. Pre-grenade coming out onto Baby J. Gets some nice shots onto him. Lands the perfect shots, actually. And that should add some aggression to this map over here. They're going to start collapsing onto yard, potentially pushing for the triple cap and definitely maintaining control for when the camo pops.
I was going to say, it should almost guarantee camo, because if they have control of light rifle or cap A side, that basically eliminates one of the 2 angles necessary to take out that camo player. So unfortunately, as Arctic gives up over on light rifle side, they are starting to push on over from, I believe they went from top gold and from light rifle side, but either way, long story short is he gave up that side, went over for camo instead of just guarding it. He should have stayed over there, kept that extra angle, because he could have flanked anyone who went towards top gold, could have flanked towards yard, but instead he tried to grab camo for himself.
Commonly with the sneaky play right now, making his way on over towards the yard area. He's going to hop in there. There's going to be players going over towards bottom middle, another one on over towards the posters. Can he land the stick and stay alive? At least gets the stick and the reversal. Not able to get away with his life, though. A player dropping on over towards the U-turn. Looks fairly weak. Noxide going to clean that one up. Another player sitting on over towards top center. Great grenade right there. Baby J going to clean that one up. Give Baby J the double kill. Another player located in the yard. That's actually the last guy alive. It's going to be Claim crouching around the corner. Player spawning up over towards the tram. Arctic actually. He is the guy that was there, and he had the shotgun laying down some serious damage. Triple cap. Can it go on over to Str8 Rippin? No. The reset comes in at the very last second for VT. Big right there, because then they would have had to actually stay in that stronghold to cap it. They couldn't have rotated down towards bottom center, and extra points would have went on over to Str8. Big turn of events right there in favor of VT.
Yeah, huge turn of events. It was a great push by Str8, like trying to push for that trip cap. However, in the end, they gave up 2 deaths, and that also resulted in 2 more deaths after those staggered spawns. So right now, we do see VT having the numbers advantage. I believe it is 3-3 right now, but either way, VT had a temporary numbers advantage that they could have pressed further, tried to get more strongholds, but they do have the center of the map, which is the dominant position.
Very good game so far in game number 1. Slight lead going on over to VT. They also maintain map control. Str8 Rippin trying to come onto their spawns. Where is the push coming in from them? It's going to be a loop push. Baby J going to drop Claim. Arctic, he gets the fresh back smack onto Ace. Can he take out Denoxide as well? Great teamwork coming in from Str8. They're going to take Arctic down to no shields, who was the last guy alive. All the spawners coming up right now for VT. Denoxide, look out! Ooh, could have been a nasty assassination ninja right there coming in, but also big plays coming in from Naded. Are they going to be able to get the reset down towards bottom center? No, they aren't. So big plays coming out, but not big enough for VT, as Arctic is the last guy alive. Again, commonly doesn't realize that there was a spawner coming in from behind him. Very unfortunate. Gonna have to try to pull this one out, but not able to. Demon D gonna drop that kill. It's gonna be a 2-on-2 situation as Ace makes his way on over towards the top gold. A player towards the nest, another player on the back wall. Ace with his green gun out. Those players are way too far for that type of fight. Now he's trying to look over towards the truck, and this is what you want to do. You want to close that gap with the green gun just a little bit more and also help out your teammate. Exactly what Ace is doing. Perfect play from him. Now it's going to be 2 dead. Claim in. Arctic again, the last guy's alive. They've done a great job of staying alive, but Arctic's going to drop Claim now. He has to go and stop this bleeding on over towards that yard area, but Nest is going to be traded for yard. Triple cap is going to be stopped again as they do trade those 2 strongholds. An advantage now going on over to Str8 Rippin.
Yeah, one thing I really like about Str8 Rippin's play right there too is some people might wonder why not try to go for nest and for yard. Sometimes splitting your resources like that can just be a little too risky.
That's what is
like, so they originally made a good push and went over towards nest to make sure they got that, and then I feel like sometimes Str8 Rippin tries to push a little too hard and just force that next objective where it's like, all right, they got 2 strongholds. Rather than like sitting back, letting the VT squad push out and make a mistake and get a kill and then go for the trip cap, it seems like Str8 just tries to force the trip cap. So in some cases when Str8 Rippin's actually gaining points, I feel like they are making unnecessary mistakes. So we're going to have to see if that holds true throughout this series, because that seems to be the case for me when I'm watching VT. VT can just kind of sit back, guard their one stronghold, get a kill or two on Str8 Rippin members, and then make their push, when the reverse of that should be happening. Instead, VT should be the ones that have to be the aggressors and force some sort of action.
And they have Nest right now for Str8 Rippin, so they need to use that to their advantage. And now they're getting spawns over there, which I feel like is a little bit easier spawning on that side compared to spawning over towards yard area. But I gotta say, the way that Claim and Arctic have been able to stay alive, so many times in this game we've said that they were one of the two last guys alive, if not the last two guys alive, and they've been able to do some serious damage. Now it's Naded as the last guy alive on the map right now for VT, but he's gonna drop, helps out Arctic get that kill. A lot of players dropping from the gold area and driveway to try to contest bottom middle, and they do a great job of that. Denoxide now, he's completely out of position. Ace, fortunately, with the spawn, is going to make a pretty smart play over here, but it looks like they are aware of this. Ace doing tons of damage with that grenade, but not able to get any cleanup. Very unfortunate for them. Can they hop into this nest for VT and get the triple cap? They do. Very big plays, and super unfortunate for Ace that he couldn't capitalize on those kills.
Yeah, Ace clearly made a good grenade, but just got melted by a couple players there and just had too many targets. Sometimes it's weird when you have like two players in front of you, one shot each. It's like, oh, which one do I look for? The one far left, one far right, and he just died before he knew what happened.
Ace coming off spawn though and fighting two big kills. Meanwhile, Claim, he's been going big over here towards the hotel side of things. Ace finds a third kill off of the spawn. One or maybe two more pushes if Str8 Rippin is lucky, and that's going to be game number one going on over to VT. Meanwhile, they have to not only retake this setup, they have to maintain it for quite some time, and the way that they've made a couple minor mistakes over and over again, I don't think Str8 Rippin has it in the cards right now. Commonly, he's going to take down Naded with Ace. They're going to have to fly in towards bottom center. Ace going big towards the tail end of this game. Last two players are over towards the driveway. They're going to have to pre-grenade this one, and they do take bottom middle exactly at the time that they need to. So big plays coming in from Str8 Rippin, but they need to capture this nest area, which obviously is being contested right now. As Yard does get captured, they need to capture that nest ASAP, and they do, only a split second away on the verge of defeat.
Yeah, and this is a great move too here. Commonly gain this trip cap at the moment. One thing that I was a little surprised from Commonly though is sometimes I feel like he kind of goes for some all or nothing plays where he'll go for the sticky grenade almost every single time, or he'll try to go for some amazing play where it's like an all or nothing instead of just doing that chipping damage where it's like, all right, I'm guaranteed to just shoot this person or get some melee damage on somebody for a teammate to clean up. So those work out really well or work out poorly, depending on the situation.
Poor job of prioritizing kills right there from the Denoxide, and he completely gets punished for it, even dropping to the bottom of the map and struggling after that player picks up the camouflage. Claim picking up two more kills. Ace is the last guy alive, but that's going to be all she wrote for Str8 Rippin. Big misplays towards the tail end of that game. Denoxide needs to go down there, drop, and contest towards bottom middle before that one gets captured and fight the player that was from the light rifle area. Just way too much respect giving towards VT. Rightfully so. They did take the previous series, but that's 100 to 80 in favor of VT. Again, just big misplays coming in from Str8 Rippin. Not securing that final stronghold, which was bottom middle, and then immediately when they get control and have that triple cap, they all fly out individually and die, giving control right back on over to VT, and that's why they're down.
Yeah, I mean, slays weren't too heavily in favor of VT. I think that they outslayed them by 3 kills total right there. So I mean, that's not super significant. Like it's clear that they did a great job objective efficiency wise, winning by 20 points with just 3 slays, but it's a step in the correct direction compared to, what was it, the Rig Strongholds one where we saw Str8 Rippin outslay by something like 20 or so kills and ended up losing that game still. So this is still a step in the correct direction, but at the same time, BT are still holding on strong to the series.
All right, Rig Slayer. We've already seen a couple of phenomenal rigs today. All of the Slayers really have been extremely close, except for, which comes to mind, that Plaza Slayer game. Just now, that was 50 to 34 2 games ago. So we've seen some great games in the Legendary Cup #2. Heck, Legendary Cup #1, we were talking about it, how awesome it was. I think Legendary Cup #2 living up to the hype.
Yeah, we're just going to keep building on this every single time. We're going to set some unrealistic expectations for Legendary Cup 4.
Triple reset? Not even possible, but it's going to happen. Slayer rig from the red side, Str8 Rippin should have the advantage in terms of the initial strategies, but we've seen them fall up short in these beginning strategies numerous times, especially when it comes to mind Plaza Slayer, not able to stop the player from getting the overshield there. They did have that triple cap to open things up in Plaza Strongholds, but allowed the player to, again, pick up the camouflage, no one in the vicinity to help burn that one. They gotta focus on the small things here. Control, teamwork, communication and staying positive, big keys to victory here, but VT's added all the pressure in the world that's making these guys not play up to the expectations as they normally would, and you got to give him credit. VT's phenomenal today as Naded opens it up with a sniper onto Commonly. First strike going on over to him. Demon D is going to find the scatter shot. 2-1 lead in favor of Str8, but they got to get the weapons out of these guys' hands, and that's a good start. Taking down Naded, Claim, and Arctic, but Demon D, miraculously, still alive.
Yeah, and we do see Str8 Rippin with actually the better start. We've only seen that very few times over every single game we've seen Str8 Rippin play so far. It seems like they've always got a lackluster start, but here they do have Sniper. They do have a 3-kill lead. Scattershot was just taken out recently, so I'm not sure if anyone from Str8 is going to be able to pick that one up, but either way, they had 3 members down for just a moment, so they should be able to do whatever they want.
Baby J moving around the map very fluently. Very confident towards that no-scope that didn't land over towards the Whitehall, but smart job backing off right there. Is going to spot Naded, trying to make his way over towards the bottom tower. 4 players right now located on that side of the map. Naded, he's going to find one. Arctic's going to find one as well. 2 players that were over towards the top tower make that 3 dead. Now Baby J is going to have to toss this sniper rifle out. Horrible setup right there. Great job from BT going and breaking that one. Str8 Rippin, they have to get it together in certain situations like that. That was not good at all. 4-for-0 trade with control.
Yeah, those are situations you can't be having in almost any single case. When you have full control, it should be like, all right, yeah, if we lose 1 or 2 people, we're probably taking out 3 or 4. It should never be, even in a situation you have control, it should almost never even be content with a 1-for-1. Those should be like if someone gets an amazing play or something along those lines. But look at Claim flanking on through, getting a trip kill for this VT squad, and is now going on the spawn trap over at Bunker.
Yeah, he's immediately made his way on over towards top. Ooh, looks like a player actually lagged out right before that melee went through. Not sure which team that was.
Yeah, we'll find out in a moment, and I'm sure our admins here will take care of this and figure out what we got to do next. But either way, that one will definitely replay, and we'll figure out what we're doing scoring-wise once we get back in this game.
Let's see who ended up lagging out of that one really quick.
Just so everyone in the chat knows who to blame.
No, we'll take a look at the stat because you never know if that guy's actually lagging or not. Arctic was the guy that unfortunately lagged out, and it looked like the score was either, it could have been 11-7 or it could have been 11-9 when that happened. Either way, only a 2-kill difference. Could end up coming back with the games that we've seen so far when it was 50-49. But that was, pretty fortunate for Str8 Rippin that player lagged out because the momentum was going in the favor of VT right there.
Oh, absolutely.
They, after getting all 4 dead, I think it was, what was it, 6-2? At one point,
yep,
Rippin
6-2. They had full setup at Bunker
and then all of a sudden you go from 6-2 full setup to being down 11-7. Wow.
Yeah, because they got, 3 or 4 all dead on Bunker side from Str8 Rippin. I don't know if they answered with 1 single kill during that full setup. And then after that, Claim went on a triple kill over on outside or basement side.
Well, what's weird was for that retake, Str8 Rippin had players spread out fairly well. They had 2 top tower, and then you had Baby J who was watching with the sniper rifle in that area. He spotted Naded out and then looked away for a second, and as soon as he looked away, everybody came from that area. But if you have 2 players top tower and you have another guy that is like controlling Whitehall and another guy sitting in the bunker, that's literally like the perfect position to be in for that type of push for VT, right? If VT's coming at you and you have the high ground and you're looking down there, whether, shields permitted or not, you're not sure what type of position that is. But if you're thinking, okay, I got 2 people top tower and 2 people are going to charge me barrels and 2 people are going to charge me snipe hole. And this is my setup. I got a guy Whitehall, I got 2 guys top tower, and I got a guy bunker. They should absolutely demolish those guys.
Yes.
Absolutely demolish those guys. They have height advantage. They have weapon control. They should easily mop the floor. But instead, that's not what happens. So just huge red flags right now for that setup. You got to go and look at that on film for sure and break that down and say, hey, guys, how the heck did we die? Who made the first mistakes? And people got to start becoming accountable for their actions.
Yeah, because when, if it happens every once in a great while where you have a full setup and something goes wrong or something messes up from a misexecution or someone on the other team getting clutch, that's acceptable. But when it happens on a regular basis, like we've seen so far throughout some of these series, where on strongholds, I think of times where they had all 4 dead, and then you see 2 members of Str8 Rippin fall or something along those lines, like those are systemic mistakes that need to be fixed.
No doubt about it. Arctic still trying to get back into this one. He did lag out, so once we get him back in there, we will start this game. We are in game number 2, guys. of this best of 7 series. It is the grand finals going on between Str8 Rippin and VT. VT, they took game number 1, I believe, 100-80 on Plaza Strongholds. Game number 2, if you're just joining us, we did have a dropout from a player, probably internet droppage or maybe power went out or something, but he should be back here soon.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Arctic's situation is, if he's, but yeah, it sounds like we'll find out what's going on with Arctic and we'll get back to you, but in most cases it's just someone lags out. I mean, you have it happen on a nightly basis, I'd say, with scrims. Someone turns off the modem or someone's internet goes out every once in a while, so looks like Arctic did finally join back up, and we will hear about ruling from last game, like if we're starting at a certain score, or if we're doing a race to like 40 or something along those lines. But yeah, we'll get that to you in just a moment. I'm sure they want to get that figured out also before they start this game and be aware of it, because you're going to play the game significantly different. Because if you know if some team only needs to get to like 39 during the game, you're going to play a lot more careful when you're at the 38, 37 mark compared to...
like, quit out at 38. Just kidding, guys. All right, guys, we're getting word that it is going to be a full replay, so we are going to start this one up very soon. Just waiting for the players to ready up in the lobby. Then once we do, we are going to start game number 2, which, again, is Rig Slayer. Game number 1 was Plaza Strongholds 1-0 in the favor of VT in this series. Best of 7 bracket reset happened. It was 4-1 in favor of VT. I don't think that we saw some of the game types that are popping up here too, which is great by the people that created these game types, because you're going to have 14 game types being played in 2 best of 7. So there is going to be 1 repeat game type, but if it's done correctly, then there's as small amount of repeats as possible.
Yeah, Millennial's done a really good job about that as far as having great amounts of game types and great distribution. We've had plenty of times before, I know in past tournaments, where I'm like, one time like, what the heck, this is like Construct King of the Hill three series in a row, what's going on here, man? Right. Or something like that, and it's so they've done a really great distribution.
All right, we do have all the players in the lobby still, again, just waiting to get everybody readied up, and then we will be underway. Dave, going back and looking at, again, how Arctic was playing, do you think that Arctic has been the go-to player in this series so far? Because we couldn't really name anybody individually too strong. It was a great team performance, but it seems like he's definitely been kind of the guy stepping it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been in great position. Both him and Claim. A lot of times when I see some newer players, sometimes you either just see a great shot or you also see some like sneaky positioning. And one thing that really impressed me from like Arctic was some of his work over near light rifle side on that Plaza game. Other thing that impressed me, I believe, is Claim, who, once they had members of Str8 Rippin spawning over at Snipe left side, he, instead of like trying to just challenge up from stairs or try and go towards cafe or staying up a light rifle, he instead goes towards bottom middle, hides down in that one corner near bottom middle, and it's like, it was the perfect spot because he got someone going over from blue truck and got someone trying to be on that sneaky ledge over top middle near camo.
It was a much
like,
more popular spot before the radar was changed.
Yes.
You would go down there and kind of crouch like in the soda U-turn area, because you could kind of kill 2 birds in one stone. You're watching bottom center, but you're also kind of watching your radar for anybody that's popping up.
Yeah, so much information.
Right, so here it is, guys. Game number 2, full replay on this one. Str8 Rippin taking on VT. You can see it at the top. VT again with that 1-0 lead. They're also in this game up 1-0 as Commonly's going to respond with a kill on Demon D. Ooh, scatter shot coming around the corner for Arctic.
He's a playmaker, man.
He's moving around, he's flying around, and he's going to find the sniper rifle as well. 4-2 lead here for VT to start things off. Not sure what happened with the camouflage, but at this point we can probably assume that it's most likely been burned.
Yeah, I saw Demon D dead at the early beginning of the game, and he's always like focusing that camo, so I'm just assuming it was a Demon D
Just
burn.
because Demon D died.
Demon D died early on.
There's not a camouflage player on the map. That's what we've resorted to. I like it. I like it.
And also, camos, the earliest camos are some of the toughest ones to get. It's like generally somebody's just going to make that mistake, or not even a mistake sometimes. Sometimes you start to lose advantage on the map. It's like, all right, I'm just going to go down there, sacrifice my life, get this burn on it. So that was a look to knock side, just kind of running away right there over from top railgun side. But what an angle right here. I haven't seen too many people use that one going over towards that top
it's becoming more and more
tower.
popular.
Yeah. That one's definitely not been used too much in other major events, so clearly probably a new popular angle trying to get that top tower person. Arctic is trying to focus on that so heavily because he realizes it's the pivotal moment. It's like the keystone piece over towards this bunker setup. If you take out that player top tower and you get person top tower, Bunker's not comfortable. Engine's not comfortable. You have no easy way to go over and take that top tower. You have to run out
It's the highest
across.
part on the map, too.
Yeah, and it's such an open area running out towards that top tower from Bunker side. That as soon as you don't have any presence there, it's just like, all right, it's risky even just to run up there because in so many times you take so much damage and you can get picked off easily. So great prioritization there from Arctic and the BT squad trying to deny tower. Nice snipe shot on Denox side as he picks off another kill. This game is a lot different from other ones we've seen. This one feels like the first structured game we've seen between a couple of these squads, like as far as slowing it down and doing full setups.
And now the camouflage is popping up, so there it is. Gets shot down. Ace, he's going to drop. Naded's going to find the scatter shot onto him. I think that camouflage...
I thought I got grenaded off the map. That's weird, right? Did someone grenade it from...
That was blown off the map.
Yeah, it was straight gone.
It must have been some sort of AoE damage onto the camo, or not damage. Ooh, Denoxide with a nasty triple kill. Is that the over? Can he find it? No, Claim with the beatdown. Ace, he's going to respond, but Denoxide getting it going with the triple. They need to get it going individually and as a team right now on Str8 Rippin. Commonly with a nice snipe right there onto Naded, looking for some more blood. Sniper rifle popping up here in 10 seconds. Curious to see what Str8 Rippin's going to do. Are they going to get aggressive or are they going to set up? Not sure if anyone choked the bunker throughout all that time, so we don't see the player outlines on there where that player did spawn. But Ace fighting a kill onto Arctic, a couple body shots coming in for Commonly, not able to finish off that kill. Demon D and Naded responding with a couple of kills of their own. Commonly without any grenades, and there's that spawner over towards that back bunker area, but very nifty move there from Commonly to get out. Can he land on the no-scope? Demon D, he backs down because he's no shields now, but great little rotation with the sniper rifle coming in from Commonly.
Yeah, great job of Commonly getting away with that. Also, great job from BT as far as they putting a bunch of pressure, like getting over towards bunker, like you said, whether there's that spawn, and putting pressure on Commonly, forcing him out of there, and then also getting their own sniper. Flame now has a sniper rifle, so that also kind of evens it up. At first, I was going to say, I was like, man, Str8 is in a really good position because the way I looked at it before, when the score was 11-11, it was a situation where Str8 did not have sniper rifle at the beginning of the match. We saw, I believe it was Arctic Cat off to a really good start, and Str8 was able to keep the game even when they did not have the sniper. So I was like, oh, Commonly has sniper now. They kept it even when they did not have power weapons. They're going to be in great shape right now, but it looks like BT has something else to say about that.
Flame has a sniper rifle with plenty of ammo. Naded, he just ran out, so he's going to switch on over to his pistol instead. Camouflage should have been up throughout all of that time. Again, we're not sure exactly when it's going to pop up because I believe that's the first time we've ever seen it completely blown off the map while casting. I think I've seen that while playing before, but I have no idea what happens with that time when that happens.
Yeah, I assume it's going to take the same sort of rule set as like a sniper getting tossed. Well, no, you're right, because power-ups are completely different than that. So I don't know the full answer to that. This one is one that I can't confidently answer. So I'm assuming it's just the 2-minute spawn, but we'll have to see if that hits some sort of kill zone and sets down a respawn time, or if it's like if anyone played Halo 2 back in the day and you'd play on Lockout, Team Slayer, and that sniper would get blasted off at the beginning of the match. You're just pretty mad because, like, all right, no sniper the rest of this game. Not fun.
I always just despised whoever that player was.
We've reset games before, as far as like in scrims for sure.
lands?
Someone blasts off like, come on, like let's be real. This game type is not going to be fun without a sniper.
Yeah. Go sit and stare at the corner.
See who gets
You're
impatient.
not allowed to play.
Team with more patience wins.
That's just such bad manners to shoot the sniper rifle off the map. Big push coming in right now for BT. Demon D is going to find a kill onto Denoxide. You have this player sitting bottom tower, Baby J sitting top tower right now. There goes the push coming in from multiple players for BT. Sure, if we're going to have to get out of here, but they do have a player sitting below for when the flank and rotation does come in. Naded, he's going to get ground pounded by Ace. Can Ace get away with the sniper rifle? He does. So not the worst case scenario for Str8 Rippin, but not the setup that they were looking for. Gets broken. Now they were going to rotate on over towards Carbine with 2 shots, new sniper rifle popping up. Camouflage again. We still don't know when that's going to be coming up, but the players should have some sort of idea. You know, the coaches most likely have that time down within the first, at least 5 seconds.
Yeah, they have to know when it would be up, or if, I would be surprised if coaches off the top of their head knew exactly what happened in that situation. So we will find out, but I'm assuming that it should be up around that same time. And maybe it's just been a good job from both these squads so far, just denying and burning those camos the entire time.
Denoxide heating up a little bit in this game. Gonna have to stay alive though. Every kill really mattering. Naded He's going to get the cleanup. It's going to be a response, though Claim's going to drop as well. Camouflage, it looks like it's popping up right about now. You can see all the members from both teams kind of filtering towards that middle area. Arctic's going to get a big kill onto Commonly right there. Commonly had the scatter shot. Claim, he's over towards the overpass. Ace responds with that beatdown onto Arctic. Meanwhile, Baby J with the sniper rifle didn't see the player outlined like we have to that player towards the left-hand side. Got to watch out for that nade right there. Demon D, he's going to hit Ace with the beatdown. That's the player we saw in the outlines. I believe that's the camo player as well, so very big kill if they can find it, but it doesn't seem like they have it. And now, Baby J on the ropes with that camouflage. Demon D doing work with the camo.
And we should have just known if, I was going to say Demon D's alive. It's like, all right, there's got to be camo out there still then. It's all good. This one has not been burned as of yet.
You just see Demon D in the middle of the map doing a camo dance. He's just trying to summon the Guardians to drop that camouflage down. Claim he's going to drop the Noxide right there. I believe the Noxide, no, didn't have the sniper rifle. Demon D has sniper rifle scatter shot here, so he's going to drop one of those for his teammates, and then I believe Nated picks up the scatter shot that was dropped. And would you rather have the scatter shot with 1 shot in it, or would you rather have the sniper with 8 shots? I think I'd give Nated the scatter shot with 1 shot.
Yep, Demon taking one for the team and saying, I'll let you have the scatter shot, man, because you're my best buddy.
Such a nice guy.
Yep.
Maybe should have kept that scatter shot. Would have been very useful in that scenario for when he's trying to lock down the white corner. Not able to land the no-scopes. 33 to 33 situation here. A lot of members trapped on over towards the barrel side. Str8 Rippin, again, if they can get in position, they would be dominating these guys if they could just get over towards top tower, but that's not the case. The Noxide, now he's trapped down, no shields, over towards bottom engine side. Claim, he's going to drop Ace. Claim finding a double kill. Now Nate's flying in there with the scatter shot. Claim gets a triple kill. Arctic drops commonly. That was all 4 dead. Again, Str8 Rippin just failing to see where the pressure is coming from. They all turtle towards the bottom of the map for no apparent reason. They need to get up top and start taking some sort of angles.
Yeah, it just feels, doesn't feel like the exact same page, or it feels like sometimes they have too much trust in each other. For example, in many cases, you still have to have individual efforts as far as staying alive and knowing what you're going to do. You can't just be like, all right, I'm going to charge out. I'm going to fly out and put myself in a 100% vulnerable position, and you better be there to back me up. It should be more something like, all right, well, I'm going to lay down shots. I'm going to still keep in good position, do everything I can, and just buy as much opportunistic time for a teammate to help me out. If they aren't there right at that moment, no big deal. I'll still stay alive, but it feels like Str8 Rippin in many cases are kind of like out in these exposed areas where it's an all or nothing thing, where if their teammate isn't right there, right at that moment, they are going to die.
Arctic with camo sniper rifle here. Everything in the favor of BT right now as they continue to add the pressure on. The only thing good happening is a little bit of a betrayal right there as Arctic with the camo is going to drop and be the last guy alive. Let's see what he's going to... Oh! Thought he was going to fall off right there because of the grenade, but he lives through it, clambers back up, and then makes his way on over towards the camo as Nate finds a kill onto Ace. 8-kill lead here, only 5 kills before this one's all said and done. Make that 4 kills, 3 kills there as everybody dropping like flies left and right from Str8 Rippin and BT. Heavy advantage right now. It's been, pretty much 10-1 run in favor of BT, which was an almost tied game around that 30 kill mark. All of a sudden blowed up heavily in the favor of BT. No answer from Str8 Rippin towards the tail end. Claim going off. 50-38 is your final score. VT 2-0.
Again, the start that they need here in this bracket reset into the second best of 7. I mean, they barely dominated Str8 Rippin the first best of 7. Domination's maybe not the best word. They had a couple games where they were heavily skewed in their favor. But for the most part, I mean, 4-1 victory is still a strong performance. And right now, kicking off 2-0. Str8 Rippin last series kind of had the excuse where it's like, you know, they weren't personally making the excuse, but they could have at least had the excuse like, all right,
we can make the excuse for them, I guess.
We'll make the excuse for them where it's like, you know, they start off slow. Obviously, VT coming off hot.
Everything that we
wins.
say is 1,000% what the players are thinking at all times.
That is true. That's true. They always tweet and always back up everything we say. Like, you know what? The commentators are never wrong.
Ever.
I'm glad about every single thing they say.
Yep.
I like the storylines that they build up.
We make everybody happy. I don't know how. Coliseum CTF game number 3 in this best of 7 grand finals. Fairly close games in game number 1, game number 2, but Str8 Rippin not able to pull it together. If you go down 3-0 here in this swing game, it could get ugly. Eden Strongholds to follow Truth Slayer, Fathom CTF, and then Eden Slayer if it goes to a game number 7. We saw Str8 Rippin with solid CTF performances. They're going to have another one here in Coliseum. But again, down 0-2 in the series. When you look at all of the games that have been played out, It's 6-1 right now in favor of VT. That is very, very one-sided.
And that's so tough to turn around. A lot of times, if you think even just a scrim night or something like that, like some team gets off to like a 6-1 lead, like in most cases, if they do start to win other games, they're in streaks. So Str8 Rippin does have a chance right here. Like they can string together game after game, but it's clearly they need to get momentum in their favor. They need to play confidently. They need to, oddly enough, like we talked about differences that these teams have struggles with. So Str8, I would argue that theirs is they aren't capitalizing as much when they have control, when they have full setups. That's usually the easiest part for other teams. It's
I
like
know,
it's
yeah.
usually like, oh, we got full setup, we got weapons. All right, we're gonna dominate right here. Whereas we've seen the opposite problems before from a squad. What's the S name again? I always forget it.
Subsequent?
Yeah, subsequent. We saw from them in player times where it's like they have they had a big lead, and then as soon as they get in the back foot, and it's all about mitigating losses for them. So it's weird that they have to work on those different problems. Like Str8 almost needs to be like, all right, we got full setup. How do we capitalize and do this better? Subsequent being like, all right, we don't have a setup. What do we do to get it back, and what do we do to make sure we can chip away at least a couple kills here and there, and make sure we don't have spawn death after spawn death or rounds of those?
Exactly, and we did see a split of CTF games in the previous series. It was Fathom CTF that VS won, and then it was Truth CTF that Str8 Rippin ended up winning. So out of all of the games, out of all of the 7 games that have played, the one game that they did win was a CTF.
So that's obviously something motivating here for Str8 Rippin, but they need to do it right now. I mean, just like last year, they don't want to go 3-0.
I know that I'm reaching, Dave. Don't have to remind me.
And looking like Commonly and Friends are going to restart this game. I'm not sure if Arctic maybe possibly lagged out again. So we will see what happened there. But I will go ahead and say that this is going to be a full replay.
Yep, Claim lags out on that one. So we will have that full replay starting up here very soon. Game number 3, Coliseum CTF. I'm going to go ahead and scroll through to see when he can try rejoining. And they're kind of taking turns. Claim before, Arctic again, and then maybe Nated next time, and then Demon D after that. But most likely just like an internet droppage or something like that. That's the hard thing, is that when you play in any type of online event, is you have to bank on your ISP, and you have to bank on not one drop, because even the rules have changed now to, there's been times where even you go back and look at the Halo World Championships, you lagged out of the game, you forfeited that game. And that is horrible. We saw some teams not qualify for the Halo World Championships because of that. And some teams that easily should have handled the teams that they had to forfeit against. So fortunately, the way that they are now, we can get these players back in the lobby, we can start it back up. It's no forfeits or anything like that, and we can get and be on our merry old way. We're already back into it, and we're going to be starting Coliseum CTF here any second.
Yeah, so Coliseum CTF, you can see what these teams do off the start. They've honestly both probably had opportunities to watch each other on this game type at some way, shape, or form. I mean, Str8 Rippin played this one earlier against Subsequent.
I believe they played this twice on the side of VT.
Okay, yeah. So if Str8 was watching, I'm sure they could see what kind of starting strat that like Nated had, as far as how is he going for rockets? Is he going on that outer ledge they can jump up to? Is he just go straight up for rockets? Do they flank someone down near scatter shot?
Remember, they switched it up twice. So Nated definitely goes for the rockets. He goes elbow side, but last time they sent 2 over there, and then yeah, on the side of Str8 Rippin, Denoxide most likely going for rockets. But again, that's where all of these little meta games come into play, where it's like, all right, you saw what I'm going to do. Am I going to continue to do that, or am I going to switch it up? And vice versa. So a lot of strategy goes into these opening kickoffs, and that's why it's so important to get some sort of momentum in the beginning of the games. And when we look at, again, the way that Str8 Rippin's been able to start the games, this series has been better for them in general, but really it hasn't been any type of strong start besides in CTF Truth, which was the game that they ended up winning. So big key to victory is, again, getting some sort of footing, getting some sort of momentum, getting, that fluent callouts going, because sometimes when you're on, the losing end of things, you can't find your right type of communication, and it sometimes results in just calling out people that are one shots or saying all the things that don't matter, and you have to get the small talk in there, and you have to get, a lot of those times where you got to be pumping each other up and be like, nice shots or good stuff. Let's go and do this, or let's go and rotate here.
Yeah, and looking like like you said, first off, that pump up moments, and those are all incredibly important. But one thing, it looked like Demon D kind of got the better of Ace at the start of this game, predicting where he was at with some sort of grenades. If you remember last time, they had played on Coliseum. I believe it was just the Slayer. And you remember how they had that battle as Ace versus Demon D on Pyramid side. This time, Demon D was ready for it. He knows how to adapt and make some changes at some of those starting fights. And great job by Baby J taking out Arctic, who had some rockets. I guess he's just assuming rockets were gone, or he's prioritizing this flag grab. And it looks like he gets to stop, but gets back smacked by Claim. Arctic gonna try to bring this one in and gets the first cap right there for BT.
That's big because that was a Spartan charge coming in from Claim, and I believe Claim was the player that Baby J originally spotted, so that was a great prediction from Claim on where Baby J had to go and try to get that return, and he goes and flawlessly executes that play. And Nate over here landing a nice kill on the Denoxide. That should have been potential kill to go and try to get that flag touch, but that's going to slow things down a lot, maybe even get that whole return, and it does. So that flag capture not going to go in for Str8 Rippin. Meanwhile, 1-0 in favor of BT with all the momentum in the world right now, really. I mean, Dave, the way that they've been able to string together game after game has been quite scary.
Yeah, it's incredibly impressive because it's not like they're just having one or two like on fire games and then just falling flat and making massive mistakes. It's like if Str8 Rippin makes a mistake, BT have just been capitalizing on it. And then same time too, if Str8 Rippin are just playing flat, BT just seems to out teamwork them and out push them. BT has been together obviously much shorter. I mean, this squad, Demon D was playing on French Toast Mafia and last Legendary Cup. This time he's already in the finals and possibly going to win Legendary Cup 2 with a different roster.
Interesting route with the flag there from Denoxide. Baby J going to drop the last guy alive that was in position to go and get that flag touch. It should be a return for Str8 Rippin, but no, VT doing a great job of relaying that flag out towards the other side of the map. So I believe it was Demon D with the initial touch. Meanwhile, Denoxide, he got that all the way back to his base. Commonly with the rockets should give the advantage on over to Str8 Rippin, but this is their time to execute, Dave. You have the advantage, you have rockets, you got to get this flag return and not only secure this capture, but try to run another one.
Yeah, and right there, commonly getting a couple kills. Ace falling over there. This is one of those tough situations. Denoxide's like, all right, well, clearly we're kind of trading kills over there. Probably don't have numbers, so I should just leave this flag back for one of my teammates, and that's a smart play. But at the same time, too, if you're going to push on up, you either need to be all the way over in the opponent's base or get a power position right there. Unfortunately, felt like Denoxide got cut off and got forced down into yard / scattershot area.
Str8 Rippin spotted the flag guy right there, and also Arctic spotted where the Str8 Rippin flag guy was located. So Str8 Rippin going to have to fall back a little bit. Ace now the flag guy currently under control. You do have the sniper rifle that did just pop up. Denoxide's going to find that one. Ace, he's on that snipe side and doesn't realize that there is a player rotating around over towards his flag. And one of the things that you got to be careful with if you're Ace is that that flag could fall off the map. If any type of grenade or anything at all, or any type of misplay, misclaim, or anything could just completely blow the lid off of this series. And Ace, very risky play, but could work out for him in the end.
Yeah, I was just thinking, at first I was like, I'm not sure if this is the best spot. I feel like you need teammates in front of you over on snipe side, so it looks like it's okay now that he has teammates over there, but I feel like snipe side can be pretty risky unless you already have teammates over there. In most cases, you push the flag up further when you have a complete domination of a side and you are concerned about somebody flanking from behind. It's kind of like being closer to your backup and to your reinforcements. But right now it just feels like, yeah, it feels like Str8 clearly has control of this, but earlier it felt like he was just kind of pushing up there just for the sake of it.
Rockets were picked up by Nated, but he immediately got sniped from the Denoxide. Demon D, he's going to drop as well. Last guy alive is Arctic with the flag. Arctic is crouching around the corner. Do they spot him out with it? They do. Ace has to win this 1v1, but Denoxide is ripping faces with a triple kill. Can we switch on over to his point of view and find the overkill? Dave commonly flies in with the rockets. Ace is there for the return, but someone is there for another touch. It's going to be Nated. Can Nated hop onto this flag? He actually goes for the flag touch, so smart play coming in from Nated, going to delay things just a little bit. Now multiple players have to fall back for Str8 Rippin. They cannot afford Nated to go and get this touch, and Nated does get the touch, tosses it down towards the runway, and now we're in another flag standoff as Denoxide misses that shot right there onto Nated. Nated still being a nuisance right now over towards the elbow. They do get the return. Wow, great job. Heads up play, I believe, by Ace, sacrificing his life right there. all around, I mean, just very impressed with how both of these teams were playing this towards that flag standoff.
Yeah, especially Naded right there. Naded was in a 3-on-1 situation, if you don't remember, and he delayed that and gave his team a chance at least to get a capture there, or at least deny that capture. So great job by Naded buying that time and just creating a chaotic situation, because I originally thought, I was like, wow, there's 3 dead. They still have 3 members of Str8 Rippin over at the BT base. This could very well be a double cap. So in short, I would almost argue that Naded did save a cap, because I think that would have been another pull and that flag moving across next side.
Well, that's what you think about when you see the Str8 Rippin flag guy being so aggressive, right? He's already over towards the top catwalk, so you say, all right, if that's how they're going to play it, let's let them get the return and then just go and get another touch. Or maybe not let them get a return, but at least flank around knowing that if the return does end up happening, then I'm there to try to slow things down a little bit commonly with a nice kill right there, but it's advantage in favor of VT. They have that 2-on-3 situation, make that a 3-on-1 situation as everyone now coming off the spawn. Demon D is coming over towards the Str8 Rippin base. Denoxide, he gets dropped, who was the last guy alive. Arctic now working over here with Demon D. Can they clear out a couple more members of Str8? Baby J with the defensive stand. Naded with the rockets, taking him out. Doesn't get the hit markers onto that player, so immediately retreats. Now they're going to have to play a little bit more passive than they would have liked to.
Yeah, and Arctic just doing some work right there. Nade trying to back him up, but Arctic not only getting that snipe, but also finishing off the player with the Magnum. This should be a really good situation for BT. However, some botched rockets from Naded, so the one earlier on Rocket Corner is not as bad. It was kind of a bit longer distance, but right there, those are some of those rockets that just need to be hit.
Uh-oh. Denoxide finding the kill on the claim. That could have been ugly. Can he find more? Lands the melee down at least.
That's a win.
Yeah, that's a win. Commonly's going to come in there with the trade. Now Naded is the last guy alive. Do they spot him out? Ace currently fighting him. Baby J not in position to help because he's getting shot in the back. Ace going to have to win this one on his own, but now it's not on his own because numerous players of BT flooding over towards that side of the map. And look at the way that they're able to help their teammate right there and then prioritize other spots on the map. Str8 Rippin, they're not looking in the right spots. They're not helping each other at the right time, and they're not thinking about being objectively efficient. Now it looks like the second flag cap could potentially be going in for VT, and that's a scary thing to think about when you're already down in this series 2-0.
Yeah, and right there, Arctic trying to get that sniper player top snipe side, so that is that second capture right there. However, it looks like Str8 Rippin might have a little bit of life in them as they're running a counter cap towards the snipe side. Arctic getting a little, I don't want to say desperate, but trying to put a stop to that flag as fast as he can. With that, he pays with his own life and is taken down. So it looks like Commonly's getting that flag recovery. It's going to be a tie game, 2-2, Str8 Rippin versus VT. Holy
cow, this game coming down to the wire. What a series, what a day we've had in the Legendary Cup so far. All kind of riding down, in my opinion, in this last final flag cap. I feel like whoever's going to cap this flag is going to be the team to win this series. Str8 Rippin desperately needs this game much more than VT, but if they can get some sort of momentum, we'll see if they can continue to add the pressure on, because the longer this goes, the longer I feel like they have it in their favor. But VT trying to end things quickly, and rightfully so. They've won 6 out of the 7 games here so far in the grand finals. Now a sticky situation to be in as Commonly has to win these 1v1s. He is able to do so onto Demon D. Has another player located down below him that's currently distracted. That's going to be 2 dead temporarily. Player coming up alive over towards his base in the cave area, so Commonly is going to back off. Meanwhile, you do have a player on the player outlines. That's going to be Naded over towards top catwalk with a huge flank. He takes down Baby J, but Ace responds right back. A little bit of a sneaky play for Commonly. He can pretty much do whatever he wants here.
I like this though. I would much prefer him to go over, help get some kills for his team, rather than just try to like a single-handed cap on his own. So I like this kind of collapse back. However, as soon as I get this kill or two, I'd like to see Commonly go back into power position or go back on the offensive for some sort of flag grab. Commonly didn't end up doing too much there. Not that it was his fault in my eyes. I feel like he made the right decision as far as flanking over on the snipe side, but just unfortunately was not able to meet as many players or execute on a few shots.
Oh, you can see that player outline, the guy on the snipe ramp laying down some serious damage. Commonly with the weird challenge ends up getting taken out because of that and loses the sniper rifle. Ace curious to see if he's going to go for that. Meanwhile, Demon D, looks like he wanted to make a sneaky flag grab right there, and a lot of help coming in over towards that grass area. It seems like there's a lot of pressure coming in from bottom center area for VT. They love to flood down towards that way and then charge up over towards the snipe ramp, and this is their time to do it. Commonly now the last guy alive. He has to go absolutely huge. Can he do so? Grenade landing. Now Denoxide the last guy alive. This flag is running down over towards the elbow. Big kill coming in from Denoxide. He's going to slow things down just a little bit. Has to take down Naded as well. Naded, that flag is sitting there for him to grab. Nobody in the vicinity for Str8 Rippin to stop this one. Everyone else located over towards the catwalk area. Naded finally grabs the flag, but that delay allowed Ace to make his way down towards the trenches. Arctic going big, finding that double kill. Naded still sitting down there, trying to get his shields back. Denoxide again dropping off the respawn and getting the kill. Do they get the return? The flag, you can see, still away, desperately trying to get that touch. Demon D with the rockets over there, trying to do some work. Baby J over towards the opposing elbow. It's just absolute chaos over down towards the scatter shot area. Str8 Rippin doing whatever they can to stay in this one now. Commonly running another flag over towards the elbow. Very risky play, but you got to see something like this from them. I don't think it's going to work out. They send multiple players onto the flag. The return only a couple ticks away. A Spartan charge coming in from Denoxide. Double melee landing. They got to get a touch right now on the side, and they don't. Calmly looking over towards the elbow. Needed to go there and immediately charge. Too late to go and get it, and VT take a demanding 3-0 lead in this series. What a game.
And like you said, also just a risky play bringing that flag over towards elbow side. Reason being is when you pull the flag over towards the same direction that the opponent's flag is at, you are basically, you want to fight that out, and you are assuming that you have more players over there and more firepower. However, the times and the most reasons that you see counter caps go in the opposite direction is because you're trying to divert attention. You don't feel like you can fight them head on, and you're just trying to buy time, and you're trying to split their resources. Basically, they're either not going to have someone guarding their flag and protecting that, or they're not going to have someone that can kill you and recover that flag. Denoxide looks like he got an overkill.
If that was the overkill with the sniper rifle, then
my bad.
We got to get that clip. We got to get that clip if that's the case. But that is a second overkill of the day.
I've gotten really 1/8. I've gotten 1/8 of his overkills. I've gotten one kill out of his
6 flag carrier kills too is absolutely ridiculous.
That is nuts.
From Denoxide. When you look at the rest of the game had 3 combined. Denoxide had 6. So 9 flag carrier kills in that entire game, and Denoxide had a majority of them. Eden Strongholds, game number 4. I mean, I look at these game types and I say Eden Strongholds, Truth Slayer, Fathom CTF, Eden Slayer. Str8 Rippin, yeah, they can win these, but Fathom CTF kind of sticking out like a sore thumb considering how they lost 3-0. Momentum not in their favor. Nothing really in the favor of Str8 Rippin right now when you go and you look at how these games have played out. 8 games total have been played, 7 of them won by VT. Absolutely ridiculous stat.
Yeah, they're just in dominating performance. I mean, Str8 Rippin is one of these squads that I could have seen walking away with every single Legendary Cup and possibly in semi-dominating fashion. But right now, VT showing that they've built a strong roster. And you can't argue those stats, like you said, when it's like 7 out of 8 games that they're winning. That's just, you know, despite having a few close games, like it's still, you're winning, was it like 83% or no? Something like that.
Yeah, they're catching them completely off guard, and you're seeing a couple minor mistakes happening. I just feel like when you look at how this series started and how close the games are now compared to how they were when we first saw the first, I think, Fathom CTF, Str8 Rippin was sitting on this cushion of knowing that they had to lose two best of 7s. Well, the reality set in after the first one, and now the reality is really setting in here after the second one, after being down 3-0, and you can't do anything but give credit to VT really for how phenomenal they've played throughout the entire game.
And my math is horrible. It's actually 87.5%. 5/6 is 83%. Of course.
You're a disappointment, Dave. Demon D somehow from the blue side getting that overshield. They also, I believe, captured the catwalk throughout all of that. So now Demon D is going to rotate on over towards that Rockets area as he rightfully should. And it looks like they are going to be able to take out numerous players from Str8 Rippin. So now they're going to hop in over towards the red nest, most likely going to capture that one and put the first points on the board. As Str8 Rippin trying to go for catwalk. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to grab that one though. Flame making his way over towards the Rockets. Str8 Rippin going to have to help clear this area out and secure this power weapon. But Ace lands the shots, has help as well. And now they also leave on the side of VT. Didn't capture Red Nest, so a little bit late to capture that one, Dave. I feel like they should maybe have about 4 or 5 points. If this comes down to a 3 or 4 point game, look at that really small minor mistake as not capturing that red nest fast enough.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with wanting to capture those as fast as possible. However, I also think one of the bigger mistakes I do see on this game type too is there's sometimes where teams commit a little too hard to red nest and force the capture early on, or they try to, you know, as soon as they start to capture, they commit to 100% live or die. And I feel like in many cases, there's so many times it's like, all right, you can back down from red nest and play it a little safe and then capture it when you know it is safe. So maybe that was the case, or maybe it was a miscommunication like you said, but if it does come down to a few second difference in this game, it will be because of that start and not capturing red nest fast enough.
No doubt about it. Let's see what Demon D has in store for us. I believe it was in the previous series, Dave, where Str8 Rippin was down 3-0, and then they won game number 4.
That is correct.
We'll see if they're going to be able to do it here again, but keep in mind, after game number 4 was a completely lopsided game number 5 in favor of VT on Plaza Slayer, which I believe was 50-34. Nated, he finds a double kill, looking for some more blood. You're going to have Baby J over here, over towards the outside red area, and rockets popped up, overshield camo coming up, and Str8 Rippin not in position for either one of them.
No, they are not. One thing I'm actually semi-curious about is who beat BT again in the winners bracket early on?
I don't know.
We'll have to find that stat because whoever did had to have taken down quite the Titan early on or caught them off guard or just been an incredible team because it had to have been, would it have been subsequent? Possibly?
Well, it could have been subsequent or straight. So another thing to consider is maybe they overslept.
It definitely was not straight because they would have been on the same side of the bracket in that case, and like we would have seen that. Or sorry,
well,
yeah, never mind. That's right.
bracket.
That's true. They could have done it early in the winners bracket. I was thinking something opposite. My bad. You're right. It could be on either side, but I guess for some reason I'm just guessing subsequent. I don't know though. I feel like I would have heard of.
You know what? They beat themselves, Dave. They beat themselves. They looked in the mirror, and that was their opponent. Triple cap coming into effect. A little worried for Str8 Rippin right now. Not looking pretty over this series of games. Not sure if it was their day. You saw how they played against Subsequent. It was fairly phenomenal.
Yeah,
it
was
like they had this
incredible
thing
play.
under wraps. They seemed to dominate Subsequent more than VT dominated Subsequent. But in this particular matchup, in these particular 2 series, it has not really even been close. You want to say that in a grand finals it would be. And we did see in the previous Legendary Cup everything go to the pretty much brink, going to game 7s, game 5s over and over again. But this has been all VT all day today.
Yeah, they've just been absolutely crushing throughout these games in this series, so I don't see them losing this. Last week on the Legendary Cup, we did see Str8 Rippin, however. They came back from an 84 or 86-0 deficit on Empire Strongholds. However,
they were down
in that same series, in that
well.
series, it's more of a close series. It's not like they've lost 7 out of 8 games. So
well,
I feel like that has to be taken into account.
No, no doubt about it. It's just, you know, when you really think about it, when you say, all right, 3-2 in the series, 86-0, that one's going to get bracket reset as well. They really clutched it there. We just haven't seen that today.
Yeah, we've not seen Str8 stepping up when they need to.
They've gotten close to being clutch, but no Dave Walsh.
No Captain Clutch over on that Str8 squad right now. They're just obviously having some lackluster trouble. But one thing I'm noticing on my observer is that Demon D has control of that overshield. Grabbing this blue band. I'd like to see him actually go towards the top catwalk, but it seems like when they have 2 strongholds, it seems like Demon D and crew are just kind of holding those 2 strongholds and just letting Str8 make a mistake. Almost a back smack there on Demon D, and does get taken down by Ace, so that was a huge, huge kill from Ace, using that camo to take out the overshield.
So you're going to have to see. You're going to have to see big plays individually and as a team from this Str8 Rippin squad. There is so much work cut out from 71-17, down 0-3 in the series. It has to be a ridiculous turn of events here. Triple cap in effect right now. We're going to see what they're going to be able to do with it. And if they can win this game, you never know what's going to happen, Dave. As you said, if they can string together back-to-back ones, once you're in that 3-2 situation, that's when the pressure really starts to add. But I'm going to wait and hold my breath until a little bit longer.
Yeah, I'm not getting my hopes up. So I guess we just heard in our headsets that Str8 actually beat VT 3-0 earlier in the winners bracket. So I'm not sure if that was semis or quarters, but either way, like maybe that also could have played an effect a little bit for Str8, just being, yeah, it was in the very first round, I guess round of 8, or second round of 8. But either way, yeah, I wonder if that played in Str8's mentality. It's like, all right, we already 3-0'd these people, like we're just gonna walk over them again, and VT just being resilient. I mean, I've had playing tournaments before where I beat someone in winners bracket and then play them again in losers bracket, and they take me out of the tournament.
Well, that's the thing is, when you have, you know, really good expectations of yourself, when you're expecting, you know, to win these Legendary Cups, when you're expecting to go out there and have that repeat 3-0 performance, when you start losing, that's when you can get frustrated, and that's one of the big keys, is not to allow what you think of yourself to really, affect what's actually going on. And all these little things can really start to blow things out of proportion and make it seem like the games are out of control when in reality all you got to do is hunker down on these, minuscule things. So, I'm surprised to hear that they got 3-0'd, but at the same time, I think that it really is a whole mental thing. We know how much this game is mental. If you decide that you want to come out flat, if you want to give the other team momentum, they are not going to let up. This is the finals. All these players are extremely talented.
Yeah, it looks like Str8 Rippin's actually bringing this back a bit. Showing some life. Right now, they're only down by 21 points, but they got this trip cap. And Plaza Strongholds, or sorry, Eden Strongholds can be a scary one when trip caps happen, because there are, a few major avenues you can take to certain strongholds, but there's so many times you just get all four shut down again, especially if the other team has control of Catwalk, or as soon as you all try to hunker up in something like Red Nest and get hit by a grenade. So we're going to have to see if Str8 Rippin can hold on and try to get this trip cap back, or if they're going to get 3 dead right now. They had 3 dead for just a moment. Denoxide getting a huge kill right there, but kind of jumping out and giving up that last death, which is not what you need when you have camo.
Yeah, interesting to see that Str8 Rippin goes from the triple cap and having camouflage all of a sudden to getting double capped on, and now in a position where they have to clutch it up here towards this tail end of the game. It's going to be maybe 1 or 2 more setups, and that's going to be all she wrote, and you can stick a fork in him over here. AC finds that perfect kill onto Arctic. You're starting to see the kill feed go in the favor of Str8 Rippin. Meanwhile, Flame, he's going to take out Ace, who was over towards that camo area. Big capture on that red nest area is going to allow a triple cap to be in effect. So now 3 people going to hop in towards this catwalk area. Looks like a player is going to rotate on over towards red nest as well. Str8 Rippin, they have to clear this out if they want anything to do with playing more in this series and in this Legendary Cup. You do see Rockets going on over to the knock side. It's going to be 2 dead temporarily, and then I think another triple cap coming in. So signs of life coming in for Str8 Rippin towards the tail end.
Yeah, Str8 Rippin absolutely has this game in their pocket right now. They cannot just blow this. I would say Commonly's biggest play right now should be just holding down that top tower, holding up security. That's the biggest, like Catwalk is the biggest spot they can lose right now. So, because it's one of the toughest strongholds to take back, especially if you have that advantage. So right now, commonly trading Catwalk for Red Nest is not a trade that I would condone.
They're going to capture Red Nest, but they're going to lose out on this because Catwalk and Blue Bend was captured out of the side of VT. So just a great rotation overall from them, and now they're starting to push this triple cap. They know that they got to take out commonly. Nobody else really in a good position for Str8 Rippin, and if they get triple capped on, they're not going to have much time to make any type of moves here. That's going to be all 4 dead. Red Nest currently being captured. You have Catwalk, I think, going on over towards Str8 Rippin here any second, but that triple cap should be enough, and it is. VT gonna take it 100-97. Very, very surprising way to end the grand finals when you add up all of the games combined. 8-1 going up against Str8 Rippin when Str8 Rippin already 3-0'd them previously on in the day. Wild, wild turn of events here in Legendary Cup number 2.
And what a performance from that last game from Commonly. Positive 11. Even though I disagreed with his rotation towards the end, leaving Catwalk and going for Red Nest. In the end, he was obviously putting up so many slays, doing so much work throughout that game, just was not enough. I mean, we saw Str8 Rippin get some of those trip caps, and it just feels like Str8 Rippin's biggest problem, in my eyes, is not knowing how to capitalize as much when they have control, and that should be one of the easier parts of Halo. The harder part of Halo, in my eyes, is the neutral game and the time when you're down.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tons of film to go over from this day if you are Str8 Rippin. And again, for all the teams that ended up losing, even subsequent, tons of film to go back and look at it, even for their series against VT, against their series against Str8 Rippin. They can say, all right, guys, here's where we faltered on the side of Str8 Rippin. You can't really, pinpoint any major mistakes. We did see a couple of minor ones. It started off with Denoxide railgunning himself in CTF Fathom, and then, you saw maybe 1 a game every single game. But to me, it just seemed like VT came out here hotter and just kind of wanted it more.
Yeah, VT were absolutely ready to play. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, like you said before, if Str8 Rippin walked into it with expectations of 3-0s or assuming that they're going to run away with this one. So, yeah, VT showing that they belong here in the finals of the Legendary Cup and walking away with Legendary Cup number 2. Checking out a few of these replays as Claims getting some of these ground pounds and just some of these amazing plays just across the board from all these members of VT and Str8 Rippin.
And this was it right here when Demon D started to get inside the base and they ran this flag down over towards the elbow. And at the end, not able to get this flag touch. You can see, I believe that was actually Baby J just set a split second looking on over towards his side instead of looking on over towards the flag. They could have possibly killed that guy or got that touch. They were just one step behind. And that's why I say is, you know, any team that is going to go out there and be the underdog and play that well, they had to be just having a huge